Iran continues to strike America's Gulf allies with missiles and drones. The latest strikes have been reported from Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and also Iraq. Bahrain authorities said a woman was killed and 8 other people were injured in a direct hit on a residential building in Manama. The Gulf nation added that the attack was a blatant act of aggression as tensions across the Middle East continue to escalate. The country's Ministry of Interior described the strike as a blatant Iranian aggression against the island kingdom. The attack took place early on the morning of Monday, March 10. Amid the confusion, pro-Iranian accounts claimed that a hotel housing U.S. diplomats and Department of Defense personnel in Manama had been struck by a direct drone attack. Earlier reports from Iranian media also said explosions were heard near the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet Base in the Bahraini capital. Videos circulating online appear to show flashes of fire and smoke rising above buildings, while warning sirens echo across the city. Several Telegram channels also reported a fire in the Jufir district, the area where the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet headquarters is located. Some reports also claimed an impact in Manama involving Patriot interceptor systems, with speculation that a malfunction may have occurred. At the same time, an Iranian strike reportedly sparked a fire at Bahrain's only oil refinery, sending thick plumes of smoke into the sky. The attacks have drawn sharp condemnation from Bahrain's leadership. King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa denounced the Iranian strikes against Gulf nations.
We are profoundly saddened by the hardships that have been experienced by our cherished homeland, our fraternal Arab nations, and our allied countries from a series of truly unprecedented attacks. This cannot be justified by Iran under any pretext whatsoever, because Bahrain has always been and will continue to be a peaceful nation. It has never, not once, initiated any form of hostility against anyone, and has consistently pursued only the path of cooperation and mutual understanding. And the principles of good neighborliness. We wish to express our profound appreciation for the exemplary readiness demonstrated by our armed forces, comprising their valiant personnel, as well as all relevant governmental bodies in terms of their preparedness, their unwavering vigilance, and their deep sense of national duty and responsibility, and the decisive action they have taken in confronting threats. These attempts were successfully thwarted, and the security of our homeland was safeguarded, ensuring the safety of both citizens and residents. This is an endeavor that we take immense pride in, and one that we value and appreciate to its fullest extent.
Bahraini authorities also revealed that the country has intercepted 102 missiles and 171 drones fired from Iran since the U.S. and Israel launched their war against Tehran.
According to the updated statistics released by the Bahrain Defense Force, the total number of items intercepted and destroyed since the beginning of these attacks is 102 missiles and 171 unmanned aerial vehicles which had attempted to target the kingdom's airspace. A comparison with the latest update issued by the Bahrain Defense Force indicates that during the past hours, thankfully, 7 missiles and 7 drones were intercepted and destroyed. This morning, the heinous Iranian aggression indiscriminately targeted civilian objectives in the Sitra region, resulting in the injury of 32 citizens and causing significant material damage, while a pond suffered following an attack by Iranian drones.
Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia says it also intercepted incoming threats. The Saudi Ministry of Defense said it destroyed a ballistic missile in the eastern part of the country and shot down 2 drones east of Al-Kharj Governorate. Kuwait's National Guard says it has downed 6 drones in the north and south of the country. The statement comes after the Kuwaiti army said it destroyed 2 ballistic missiles and 2 drones in the country's airspace on Monday. In a stunning escalation of the widening Middle East conflict, the United States has ordered the first mandatory evacuation of embassy personnel in Saudi Arabia since the war began. The decision came after a series of Iranian strikes across the region, attacks that are now reaching some of Washington's most sensitive diplomatic and intelligence facilities. According to the United States Department of State, non-essential American embassy staff and their families have been ordered to leave Saudi Arabia immediately due to rising security threats. For weeks, U.S. officials had only allowed voluntary departures. Now, the situation has changed. Washington is pulling personnel out, a sign that the threat level has reached a new and alarming stage. The evacuation comes as Iran intensifies retaliation following joint military strikes by the United States and Israel against Iranian targets. Those attacks triggered a chain reaction across the region, and now Iran appears to be expanding its response. According to emerging reports, Iranian drones and missiles have begun targeting sites connected to the United States and its allies across the Gulf. In the Saudi capital of Riyadh, explosions were reported near the U.S. Embassy complex. Officials say drones struck the diplomatic complex, causing structural damage and forcing personnel to shelter in place. Two sources familiar with the incident told reporters that one of the drones may have struck facilities connected to the Central Intelligence Agency station housed inside the embassy complex. If confirmed, it would represent a major symbolic strike, targeting not just a diplomatic facility, but one of the United States' key intelligence hubs in the region. According to internal alerts cited in reports, the impact partially collapsed sections of the embassy roof and filled parts of the compound with smoke. Emergency procedures were immediately activated. Staff were ordered into secure areas as the compound assessed the damage. Neither Washington nor Saudi Arabia has publicly confirmed the full extent of the strike, but the decision to evacuate non-essential personnel suggests officials are preparing for further attacks. The strike in Saudi Arabia is only part of a wider campaign. Similar drone attacks have reportedly hit American diplomatic facilities in Kuwait in the United Arab Emirates. Iran appears to be widening its response across the Gulf, targeting countries that host major U.S. military installations. These nations form the backbone of America's strategic presence in the Middle East, and now they are being drawn directly into the conflict. The Gulf region hosts some of the most important American bases outside the United States. For example, Al Udeid Air Base serves as the largest U.S. military installation in the Middle East. Meanwhile, Bahrain hosts the headquarters of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet. Together, these facilities coordinate American military operations across the region. But as Iranian strikes increase, those bases and the diplomatic missions surrounding them may now face growing danger. Saudi authorities have also confirmed casualties from recent attacks. Officials said that a projectile landed in the province of Al-Kharj, killing 2 people and injuring at least 12 others. While details remain limited, the incident has intensified fears that the conflict could spread further across the kingdom. For years, Saudi Arabia has been a critical U.S. partner in the Middle East. The country hosts American personnel, military equipment, and intelligence operations. Now, it is increasingly being pulled into the expanding confrontation between the United States and Iran. The current crisis erupted after large-scale U.S. and Israeli attacks on Iranian targets last month. Tehran has vowed to respond with what it calls forceful retaliation against American and Israeli interests across the region. Since then, a wave of missile launches, drone strikes, and military confrontations has unfolded across multiple fronts. From the skies above Israel to U.S. installations in the Gulf, the conflict is rapidly expanding. U.S. President Donald Trump has warned that the confrontation could last for weeks. Military analysts say the evacuation order signals Washington is preparing for the possibility of sustained attacks on its diplomatic and military network. Removing non-essential staff reduces the risk of civilian casualties if further strikes occur, but it also sends a powerful signal. When embassies begin evacuating personnel, it often means officials believe the situation could deteriorate quickly. For now, American diplomats, intelligence officers, and military planners are closely monitoring the situation. But the latest developments suggest the conflict may be entering one of its most dangerous phases yet. Iran appears willing to strike deeper into the network of American allies and facilities across the Middle East, and the United States is now taking defensive steps to protect its personnel. The evacuation of embassy staff in Saudi Arabia marks a dramatic moment in the unfolding crisis. It shows how rapidly the battlefield is expanding and how fragile the region's security landscape has become. As drones, missiles, and retaliatory strikes continue across the Gulf, the world is watching closely, because the next move in this escalating conflict could determine whether the crisis remains contained or erupts into a far larger regional war.